Oh, I knew looking at the camera. Is that where I'm? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm here, bro.
You good now?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, let's get it, bro.
All right. You ready? You ready for this?
Hello, audience.
All right, everyone. We are less than 48 hours from kickoff. Kansas City versus Tampa Bay, part 2 for the 2020 NFL season. And I just want to jump into a couple of things, housekeeping things, get those out of the way here. Disclaimers, if you will. This is not a traditional all-22 film breakdown. I have some broadcast footage in this particular video, as well as some color commentary from those broadcasts that I think are significant with respect to the points that I want to make. I don't want to belabor the Carlton Davis, Tyreek Hill situation from the first matchup. Obviously, the Bucs, the game plan that they deployed early in that game was ill-suited for the matchup. Tyreek Hill, you have to keep somebody over the top. You have to use the sidelines, the boundaries to limit that explosiveness to some degree, and particularly when he's traversing the field horizontally. When you're sitting in zone, that zone eventually has to become man, especially when Patrick Mahomes extends the play. But like I said, there are several items that I want to focus on that I don't know receive as much attention as defending Tyreek Hill specifically. The opposition has just made it entirely too easy for Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs offense. You know, Kelce obviously has been a dominant force over the last 5 years in the league. However, I've noticed he's struggled with physicality a bit this season. The problem is that it's simply not happening often enough. Teams are not taking advantage of the disruption that challenging Kelce, being physical with him, does to the offense. It throws off the timing and the efficiency associated with a juggernaut of an offense.
15, 15.
All right, Jim, here we go again. Let's see who motions, let go, and then get the ball to the flat quickly, somewhere crossing.
That was easy. Let's rewind that.
And then get the ball to the flat quickly, somewhere crossing.
Lobs it up in the air to Kelce. No one near him. Mahomes standing in and delivering. It is a touchdown. Travis Kelce on the receiving end.
As you can see, free releases against an all-pro tight end that is rewriting the NFL record book probably isn't the best way to defend him. I have a tendency to believe that when you do allow a player a free release, that individual tends to get lost in coverage. That when you have breakdowns in coverage, it's typically because there's no one that has engaged that particular player. So I want to bring your attention back to the conference championship game, the AFC championship game against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo went in with the same game plan that they deployed the first time around, and that was to play two-man deep. Don't let anything get behind you. We're going to play zone underneath, and we're gonna force Patrick Mahomes to check the ball down, to be patient. And he absolutely was. And when you can't get to the quarterback and you're allowing free releases, you're not disrupting any of the timing associated with the offense. You're allowing players the caliber of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce to get to their spot unimpeded. You're asking for trouble. Now, this game plan worked the first time around as in terms of defending the pass, but ultimately Kansas City racked up a ton of yardage on the ground, and they ultimately won that game. This time around, the Buffalo didn't make any additional adjustments. They just decided we're going to go and do the same thing again. But this time, Kansas City made it a point to stretch that zone horizontally. Tremaine Edmonds, a talented middle linebacker for the Bills, he had a really rough game because at no point were the Bills plastering with respect to their zone coverage. Again, after a certain amount of time, zone turns into man. If you continue to play an area when receivers have now crossed your face, rerouted, come back to the quarterback, it becomes pitch and catch, as you can see here. Now, of course, Mahomes is making plays because there were a couple occasions where the pass rush got to him. That's another part of the conversation that we're going to have later. You got to get the quarterback on the ground. But the Bills really did little to nothing in order to slow down the receiving threats, to again, disrupt that timing that the Chiefs offense within structure is predicated on. There is obviously the element of Mahomes extending the plays, but listen to what Tony Romo had to say during this particular broadcast about the coverage the Bills were deploying.
But now, here he is, Jim. Now, if you have 4 down linemen, see those 4? Take one of them and hit him. That way he just doesn't get to go up and just beat you underneath the zone. He's going to have 20 catches at this rate.
Here's one of the few occasions that the Buffalo Bills actually challenged Kelce at the line of scrimmage. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of field here to defend, but certainly disrupting him at the line of scrimmage makes a difference. It allowed the defensive back, in this case, Teron Johnson, to be in position to make a play. And Kelce's just simply not running away from guys the way he used to. So it behooves teams to challenge him. Against the Bucs early in the season, you blitz and vacate the space that Kelce is going to occupy. It's easy pitch and catch. Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, all of his receivers generally are on the same page, particularly when you blitz. And of course, you're not doing yourself any favors if you give or allow free releases. I like what I saw when the Chiefs matched up against the Atlanta Falcons. They did a really good job of disguising pressure and disrupting Kelce.
Season.
Hey, go, 54 blood. Go.
3rd and 5. Mahomes has a completion. Hardman did not get there. Sure, tackling. It was Grady Jarrett.
That's a 3 technique in Grady Jarrett, getting out, disrupting Kelce, and then also making a play on the receiver in the open field. And as you can see here against New England earlier in the season, these defenders, they earhold him. Within those first 5 yards, listen, I'm taking my shots at number 87. So the next thing I want to talk about is making plays by doing your job. And that is a huge part of Kansas City's success. They typically make more plays than the opposition. And throughout this season and seasons past, we've seen teams be in a position, or players, individual players, be in a position to make a play and fail to do so. Whereas Kansas City, more often than not, is actually making that critical play.
Here we go. Wide. Here we go. Go.
3-man rush. Now a late rush is added. Mahomes is intercepted again. Did he hang on? No. Tuioti Mariner got his hands on it, but could not hold it in.
Again, a really good, well-designed faux zone blitz, which really gave Kansas City a lot of trouble in this particular contest. But the defender simply didn't make the play. This score is 7-7 late. In fact, the Falcons had the lead late in this game and just didn't make enough plays to come away with the win.
You have to do that, though, Jim. You have to do that against this team. They're too explosive. You got to be able to match their speed. That's their best ability to do that. Put 6 defensive backs in the game.
And it should have been intercepted right off the hands of Devin McCourty. Into the gun on 2nd down and 6. Pressure. Gets it away. Here's a deep pass and went right through the hands of Evans.
Mahomes lets it fly. Going for Hill. Intercepted. Oh, and it dropped. A.J. Terrell had it, and he could not come down with it.
Oh, he does everything right except finish the catch.
This is the Sunday night game against the Raiders. There's about 33 seconds left in this game. The Raiders are playing quarters coverage, which is designed to keep everything in front of them. And Jonathan Abrams, the safety Jonathan Abrams, simply did not do his job. Notice Kelce got a good chuck on him. He's supposed to run right into Abrams' zone. But Abrams decides not to do his job, to play hero, and gives up the game-winning touchdown. So the next point I want to bring up is something that really is a pet peeve of mine. Watching the NFL today with a litany of quarterbacks that can extend plays and make plays outside of the pocket, move around, there seems to be a complete lack of fundamentals in terms of pass rushing, in terms of staying in the lanes, in terms of confining quarterbacks to the pocket, not giving them space to step up. Too often, the opposition is rushing so far upfield or losing leverage, allowing Patrick Mahomes to get outside of the pocket. And that is where he is absolutely the most dangerous, when he's able to extend the play, attack the line of scrimmage, and break down the coverage in the secondary. You have to stay on his outside shoulder. Next couple of clips, you'll see where JPP of the Bucs did not stay on the outside shoulder, and a Chiefs defender actually doing a good job of staying on Josh Allen's outside shoulder and bringing him down.
Nate.
Mahomes buying time, finding his man, for the first down. Robinson. Passanio is on him. Allen trying to hold him off. And the
Red zone defense is going to be key, obviously, in the Super Bowl. It's instead of giving up 6, give up 3. When you blitz, keep it to a minimum, but you have to have a plan. You have to be buttoned up at all levels of your defense. And of course, use a spy. Levante David and Devin White, these are the types of players at the second level. Even if you decide to leverage a Shaq Barrett or a JPP, just having that extra defender who isn't necessarily responsible for covering anyone, but will be a deterrent to Patrick Mahomes attacking the line of scrimmage by extending plays, will do a lot in order to stymie that Kansas City Chiefs explosive offense. On this play, you'll see Falcons look like they have a 4-man rush. Tyreek Hill goes in motion across the formation. No one travels with him, so it's a zone look. At the snap, though, it's only a 3-man rush, and Dante Fowler drops back into a spy position. Good communication in terms of leveraging Travis Kelce. Makes Mahomes come off of it. Fowler then fires his gun when Mahomes commits to leaving the pocket and forces an incompletion.
Really nice coverage. It's one of the things that you have to do. They call it plaster coverage. When Patrick Mahomes pulls that ball down and starts moving outside the pocket, you've got to lock onto your guy and stay with him.
Even Jones on Kelce, so nice job by that secondary.
On this play, we have the end zone cam, and Travis Kelce's not on the field. Anytime Kelce's not on the field or Hill's not on the field, you got to win, all right? The Chiefs, hard play action, got everything flowing to the left. However, Dante Fowler, again, is spying, and he ends up right in the throwing lane of where that ball should have gone. On this next play, you have a 5-man front from the Falcons. The defensive backs are up in press coverage. It looks like a blitz could be on the way. However, at the snap, the Falcons utilize another spy and drop off one of the edge rushers and instead send a more athletic linebacker, Deion Jones, to be the 4th rusher. As Patrick Mahomes drifts to the left, Jones comes free and forces an errant throw. This next play shows good aggressive press here with Kelce at the bottom of that 3-by-1 look from the offense. A lot of Falcons along the line of scrimmage. The key to this is the rush lane discipline. They keep Patrick Mahomes within the tackle box and contain him. Even though they don't get a sack, they force him to stay within the tackle box where he's not quite as dangerous as he would be on the edges. That's a win. Anytime you keep Patrick Mahomes within the tackle box and force him off his first read, you're putting yourself in a position to have success, which leads us to the red zone defense.
Mahomes fired, intercepted Aluakon at the goal line. Foye Aluakon still on his feet, breaks the tackle. Aluakon's got blockers, and he's got speed to midfield. He fumbles the football. Hill knocked it away, and it's out of bounds. What a sequence. Foye Aluakon, the former college safety, with the interception at the goal line. It got knocked out of his hand, but it should stay with Atlanta.
Man-to-man there, huge play.
In 4 plays, they've gone 75 yards. Mahomes improvising and sliding down to the 6. This is the longest game through 4 weeks. This is the 62nd game of the season, the longest game to this point without a touchdown on the board. Stepping back to the 15. Looking everywhere. Throws it in the direction of Kelce.
So, Jim, I'm going to show you what's happening. See how long he's holding the ball there? Here's the previous play. And this is coming up more and more as this game plays out. See the 3 linemen? There's 2 guys on the edge. These guys, they might rush, right? But they're going to drop and go to the sides. Everyone else is going to play man-to-man, guard your guys. Who's helping? Well, that's a lot of people. They're saying, Mahomes, you got to run around and make plays.
He even has a better chance. First and goal. Ball is on the ground. And it's picked up by the Bucs. They make a play. Finally recovered by Golston.
All right, the next series of plays all resulted in a throwaway by Patrick Mahomes. And it truly was a result of excellent red zone defense by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier this season. Now, as you can see on this first play, Patrick Mahomes was flush from the pocket. Key on the back end was the Bucs' ability to pass off the crossing routes, communicate and understand that I have a particular zone that I have to play. There's another defender. I have a teammate that extends beyond where my zone is, so I can pass that off. Now, of course, once you get to the end, once you get to the limits of a particular zone, you have to match up. As I said before, zone under certain circumstances, after a certain amount of time, becomes man, and did a masterful job of matching up within their zone in this 3-play sequence. And like I said, they forced 3 consecutive throwaways. And that actually allowed this team to stay within striking distance. You know, this game could have really gotten out of hand, but it ended up going down to the wire because of plays like this, because of that physical press there off of Kelce, because we're negotiating the coverage and taking away the throwing lane to his favorite target, Tyreek Hill. It's just communication and understanding that zone ultimately has to become man on top of a quality pass rush. They're going to be at a disadvantage against the Buccaneers pass rush. The onus now falls on the back 7 to ensure that they are buttoned up, as I say, and make sure that they are communicating and passing off those routes when they are playing zone and red zone defense. The final thing the Bucs will need in order to slow down this Chiefs offense and come away with a win in the Super Bowl is a couple of breaks. It's just the reality of the situation. The Chiefs have enjoyed a number of bounces that have gone in their favor. Of course, they make a lot of their own luck with their consistent play on both sides of the ball. However, in order to have this type of success, in order to win the big game, typically you need some things to break your way.
Hey! Color! Bloody white! Go!
Robson, just out of reach for Sammy Watkins. Apps. Mahomes goes down the middle. No, and that was Hardman.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think the Bucs have to do in order to slow down the Chiefs offense and ultimately who wins the Super Bowl.
Is in the building.